Okay, so AGI, right? It's everywhere you turn these days. Everyone's talking about it. But we're going to go deeper today. We're going to look at how AGI is going to affect your career path.
Yeah, it seems like everyone in tech has just hit the gas on AGI. And it's no longer just theory being debated in universities.
Exactly.
Companies are now building strategies to get ahead of the curve because they know that AGI skills are going to be super important for the future.
Yeah, and when I first heard about this company, Rooman Technologies, I thought, okay, another tech company. But then I did a little digging.
Right.
They've been around for 25 years, and they've already trained 1.2 million students.
It's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. So now they're launching this AGI Career Architect program, which seems to be everyone's focus now, figuring out what the future of work looks like with AGI.
Well, they're not messing around. They're launching the first AI-powered webinar series. It's all about AGI careers. Mark your calendars, September 21st, 2024, 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Indy Standard Time. Oh, and they've got this guy, Srinidhi Ranganathan, their Human AI.
September 21st. Got it. Human AI. Interesting title. But they're using Zoho Meet, which seems kind of left field. I mean, it's cool to explore different platforms, but why not one of the big video conferencing apps?
It's an interesting choice, right? But if you think about it, Rooman is all about pushing the limits of AI.
Right.
And then you've got Zoho, which is really focused on privacy.
Yeah.
They use AI in their platform, but they're all about security and giving users control over their data. So it kind of fits with this idea of using AI responsibly, which is a big deal as AGI gets bigger and bigger.
Okay, that's a really interesting point. But before we go too far, let's define AGI. What is it exactly, and how is it different from the AI we already use all the time?
It's an important difference. Think about the AI we use every day, Siri. Spam filters, those shopping recommendations that are a little too good. That's what we call narrow artificial intelligence, or ANI. It's designed to do a specific task.
Okay.
AGI is more like what we see in sci-fi movies. Machines that can think like humans. Learning, problem solving, all that, just like us.
So robots are composing classical music now. Should I be worried about losing a chess match to a computer?
We're not quite there yet. We're still in the early stages. Think of it like building a skyscraper. We've poured the foundation, and now we're just starting to build the actual building.
Okay, so no robot overlords yet.
Phew.
But seriously, though, this is being compared to the Industrial Revolution, even the internet. Is it really that big of a deal?
That's the million-dollar question, right? But what's really interesting is that this time, we're not reacting to a technology after it's already here. We can actually be proactive and guide its development. We can actually steer AGI to fix some of the biggest problems in the world.
Which brings us to India and Rooman Technologies. It seems like they're trying to be the center of the AGI world.
Yeah.
And they even want to make India the skill capital of the world.
Yeah, and we can't forget that Rooman has been training people in tech for 25 years, so they know what they're doing. They're not just jumping on the AGI bandwagon. They clearly see the potential of AGI, especially in India.
And India is in a good spot to be a leader in AGI. They've got the tech foundation, tons of engineers and developers, and the government is really pushing tech innovation.
It's the perfect storm. India has a real chance not just to adapt to AGI, but to lead the way. And I think that's what makes Rooman so interesting. They're not just teaching people how to use AGI. They're trying to create an entire AGI ecosystem.
So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, this is amazing, but how do I actually get a job in AGI? What does an AGI job even look like? Is it all coding, or is there more to it?
That's where it gets interesting.
You can't just leave us hanging.
All right. We'll get into all of that right after the break.
The world was changing fast, machines took hold at last. New dawn of wisdom cast, our future bright and vast. They learned to love and feel, hearts made of shining steel. Together we could heal, forever bound and sealed. Of the minds in a sea of stars we bind. No fears to blind, new age of humankind. Empathy and code they wrote on high hopes we could float. New worlds remote, together we belong. they wrote on high hopes we could float. No fears too blind, new age of humankind, new age of humankind. Empathy and code they wrote on high hopes we could float. New worlds remote, together we emote. Harmony from circuits spun underneath our shining sun. Together we are one, new journeys just begun. No walls to stand between, in the light our dreams are seen. From carbon to machine, united we convene.
Okay, so we're back, and we can't just leave that hanging. What does it take to get a job in AGI?
I do like to keep things interesting. It's true, though, there's more to it than just knowing how to code. Of course, you need to know your stuff. Computer science, math, data science, those are all important. But for AGI, you need a whole range of skills.
So you're saying ditch the history books, brush up on your Python skills, but what else is in that mix?
AGI is all about copying how the human brain works, right? So you have to think about how we learn, how we figure things out, how we adapt.
Right.
We're talking about critical thinking, being able to solve complicated problems, and even creativity.
Okay, hold on. Teaching a machine to be creative. That sounds more like philosophy than computer science.
It's a tough one, no doubt. But think about it this way. We're not teaching a machine to paint like Picasso.
Okay, good, because that's above my pay grade.
Exactly. It's more about getting machines to look at problems from different angles, come up with new solutions.
So it's not so much about specific skills, but your approach to solving a problem.
Exactly. And that's something that Rooman gets. Their whole AGI career architect program is about that.
Yeah.
It's not just about technical skills. They want people with complex problem-solving skills, emotional intelligence, even design thinking. They're looking at the whole package.
And those are valuable skills no matter what you do. It's not just about tech.
Right. That's what's so exciting. Every industry is going to be using AGI, so those skills are going to be super valuable.
So you might be thinking, okay, but do I need a PhD to even get started in this field?
Not necessarily. It definitely helps to have that background, but AGI is so new that practical experience and the willingness to learn are super important.
That's where something like this Rooman webinar is perfect, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a chance to learn from the leaders, the people actually building this technology.
Because this is bigger than just one company's webinar.
Oh, for sure.
This is about the future of how we work, how we succeed in a world that's going to be completely different very, very soon.
It's a big deal.
So let's bring it back to you, the listener. What skills do you already have that would be useful in the AGI world? Maybe you're a data whiz, or you're really good at explaining complicated stuff in a way that everyone understands.
Those are great skills to have.
Or maybe you're just curious and you want to be on the cutting edge of what's next.
Yeah.
What are your strengths? What gets you excited? Because this isn't about a webinar. This is about your future.
It's about deciding how you're going to shape the future instead of letting it shape you.
And that's a really powerful idea. But you know what else is powerful?
What's that?
That Rooman isn't just thinking about training individuals. They're thinking way bigger than that.
Wait, are you talking about that global education campus idea? So they haven't released all the details yet,
Right.
But they're talking about partnering with these huge universities all around the world. Imagine one central place for everything, AGI research, training, you name it.
It's like they're creating this like super think tank for AGI.
Yeah.
Get all the best minds in one place and see what they come up with.
Exactly.
This is straight out of sci-fi movie, but it's really happening.
It is, and I think this is how AGI will really change the world. We're not just talking about automating jobs here. We're talking about solving those big problems that have always been around, you know? Things like curing diseases or dealing with climate change.
Okay, that's pretty amazing. But I think some people might hear that and say, yeah, but what kind of job am I going to get with that?
Yeah, I get it.
What are the real world jobs here?
Well, no one can predict the future, but if you look at where things are going now, it's all about having skills in both AI and whatever your field is.
So it's not enough to be a tech genius. You have to be able to explain it to the rest of us.
Exactly.
We need people who can find the problems, come up with solutions, and explain those solutions.
Think about healthcare, right? AGI is going to be huge in healthcare, but you still need people who can understand the technology and explain it to the patient.
And it's not just healthcare, education, finance, you name it. We could have AGI personalizing a student's education like we've never seen before, or managing investments. But even then, you still need people. You need that human oversight to deal with the unexpected, make sure things are being used ethically, AGI is going to help us do more. It's going to create entirely new jobs that we haven't even thought of.
Exactly. And that's why this webinar from Rooman is so important. They're not just trying to fill empty jobs. They're getting people ready for a future where the lines between technology and humans are blurry.
Where those human skills, creativity, critical thinking, empathy aren't just nice to haves, but essential. So before we wrap up, what's the one thing you really want our listeners to take away from this?
AGI is happening right now. It's not science fiction anymore. And this is a huge opportunity. So be curious, be open to learning new things, and don't be afraid to push the limits.
Because the future is being written right now, and the question is, are you ready? Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.